So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting
Ray asked me to tell everybody he's not accepting dues for next year until December, so hang back with your dues money as much as we'd like to collect it, but he wants to do that in December, okay? Today we have something a little different. We have a lady from Moon Access TV that has a show on that program distributed throughout the Pittsburgh area and online and various other places you can pick it up. Her name is Lisa DeRosa-Costanza, and she is the creator, producer, and host of a show on Moon Access TV called Living Style with Lisa. It's a show about do-it-yourself designs and so forth. I'm not sure exactly what she's going to do, but she says it's very interactive, so sit back, put your seatbelt on, and we'll see what gives. All right. Anyway, Lisa, take it away.
Oh. Thank you so much, Mark, for that introduction. First and foremost, can everybody hear me? Is it too close, hon? Okay. How about now? Check, check. Can you still hear me? Okay. Thank you so much to all of you for inviting me here today. I mean, I was really looking forward to this. As Mark said, I do not have a slideshow or PowerPoint or anything of that nature. I sort of like to be interactive because if you're anything like me, as a little child, I was very, very hyper, okay? And actually, that's where Living Style with Lisa transpired, you know, since I was little. I was a do-it-yourselfer. We were brought up, I mean, we didn't have a whole lot, but we were brought up to make something out of nothing. And I really was inspired by my mother, who was a seamstress, and she used to make patterns on paper bags. And she worked with designers, actually. She worked in we come from a small town, and she worked in a sewing factory with a team of people, and they really worked their butts off. And designers from LA and Texas and all over would come in. And my mom, she don't get starstruck or anything like that, so she never knew who they were. But they actually used her designs, you know, off of these paper bags. So it's really something that I looked up to and inspired to. So really, she is just all about why I am here today, obviously, right? But really what I achieve in my show for Living Style with Lisa. So to go back to Living Style with Lisa, when you hear Living Style with Lisa, like you guys said, oh, Living Style with Lisa is going to be here today. What did you think it would be? Anybody want to take a guess what my show's about, or did you think it would?
Living rooms and things like that.
He says, finding living rooms and things like that. Well, I'll tell you what, I can come into your living room, right, from the TV, but it is home decor for your living room. What I do is just simple DIY projects, and I'm talking simple. And on my show, not sure if you watched, but every time I do my show, if it is not simple, one, I'm not going to do it, right? because life's complicated as it is, so I want things simple. I'm not going to do it. I'm sure in the heck not going to show you. But my show can be from, home decor, crafts, it's wellness, it's fitness, it's fashion, and it's just things that anybody can use in their everyday life. And also on my show at MCA-TV, I bring guests in too. Now, pre-COVID, I had more guests, and it's about pursuing passions. Who here has passions? I mean, do you still have passions? I know I do. Hey, I'm way over 50, right? That doesn't mean anything. Any stage, any age of our lives, that passion never leaves, right? And I know for me, I have many passions. DIY crafts, that's a big passion of mine. Our vets is a big passion of mine. I love my veterans, I love my military, so I do things for that. It's a big passion of mine. Running's a big passion. We all have our passions, which will never, ever leave me for as long as I live, right? So I would bring people in that pursue their passions too, at any age, any stage of the game. And I will go back to that with Living Style with Lisa, because now with COVID, people they want to come in the studio a lot more, and they're like, hey, are you still going to interview? I'm like, yes, I am. So look forward to that in the future, and that'll be in 2024. And it can be anyone from politicians to fashion design, and anybody. So I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be something new on the horizon. But to go back to how I started with MCA-TV, we moved here four and a half years ago already. Wow, time flies. And being new into the area, I'm like, oh, geez, I'm a little nervous. Anytime you move into a new area, you get nervous. And I always like to be involved in a community somehow. So I found out about MCA-TV and what they do. And of course, my family, my husband and daughter were like, do this, Mom, do it, just do it. And I said, well, I don't know, it's production. And he says, well, back in the day, I would do just spot TV commercials. One I'm very proud of is Wounded Warrior projects, things of that nature, and I would do TV pilots, nothing ever picked up. But I would do these things, and I would bring my daughter so she could see behind the scenes how things work, things get designed. So I says, I'm gonna do it. So I checked into MCA-TV, and I said, what all do we need to do here? I have no journalism degree, you know what I mean? I'm just new to the area. He says, no, you don't need any of that. It's 4 weeks, now this is before they moved to the new studio. 4 weeks, hour and a half a week, and we will teach you everything you need to know. And it was hands-on, which is good for me. I'm a hyper adult, just like I was a hyper kid, can't sit still for nothing. And I says, I'm in. So I went, and I really met some nice people. Actually, I met a new resident. She just moved there too, and she moved from out of state, and it really was a nice atmosphere for me, and I felt welcomed, for one, and I felt comfortable. And really, to be honest with you all, because I feel like I can, I really had to build up my confidence again, because something in our lives happened so traumatic, and which I know many of you that served in the military or whatnot, our vets, when something happens so traumatic, it's hard to get back into reality, pick yourself up again, and function every day. Sometimes to put one foot in front of the other. And I was like, I can do this. So I set goals for myself every day or every week, and I'm not kidding you. I put Post-its, and I write down a goal. And that goal was to do this show, pitch a show, pitch a show. So I started producing a show. If you ever heard Yin's Bruin, I don't think they're on anymore, but I did behind the camera, got to get used to the camera, how does a show film, all the behind the scenes stuff, I gotta need to know the foundations. But little did I know, we get to taste the beer, because they made homemade beer. Yeah, we got to taste the beer at the end. I'm thinking, this community's for me, man. It was really, really a good time. So then they're like, you need to get a show. I'm thinking, okay, I can do this. And I'm not kidding you, I put Post-its in my house, and I kept looking at that Post-it every morning. Pitch the show, Lisa, pitch the show. Build your confidence up, build your confidence up. So I pitched the show, and I says, what can I do, though? What, I got to be passionate. I have to be passionate about something. I can't just fake it to make it, that kind of stuff, because I was into fashion way back in my early years. We go way back. I was discovered first as a model, okay? And when I was discovered as a model, of course, my dad, my Italian dad, very overprotective, said, she does not go anywhere without a chaperone, and that's her mother. So when you go on auditions, if the people said, no, this young lady got to come in by themselves, no adult with her, it was a no, So a lot of gigs were just, And honestly, modeling wasn't for me at that time. That wasn't my thing, okay? So I knew fashion was going to be my thing, and the design, the aspect of, creating something. So I would go to New York shows, come back. I would, do this. I would sometimes drive 3-4 hours where we were living. I would go back, I would do a New York show. You would see, yes, maybe some celebrities. But I would just drive home. They'd be like, Lisa, just stay. But that was never me. I'm a small town girl. And this is an honest to God's truth. This is recording, let the record state. And they would be like, Trump will be at these shows. And honestly, he was. He liked models, we know this. But little did I know, I'm like, I don't, that's not me. I take after my mom. My mom was just like, whatever, a person's a person, it's who their character is, I said, that's good, that's dandy, but, I'm not gonna go, So I would drive home and do this and that. Little did I know he was gonna become president, but it was interesting because for me, it was all about the fashion, the hustle, that authentic, man, I can do this. And I really was getting my name out there because I was doing designs that manufacturers would use. And this is just a backstory of, who I was. Because the fashion industry, it's harder than the politician industry. It is just cutthroat. It is just what it is. You know that going into it. Is that me? No, but that's what I said. I would do the designs because they knew I had the talent, and they would say, we need you for the, okay, and I would go home. So I'm still that person and I'll never change, but I miss that creativity, because during that time, yes, something so traumatic happened that it just stopped. It was as if our lives stopped. By no fault of our own, something so horrific and traumatic. So anyone that's been through anything of that nature knows how that can be. So the reason why I say this story, because I just want to be honest and upfront, because this show, me standing here speaking, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me, you asked, obviously, but it means a lot because now I'm putting one foot in front of the other. Did my goal, I'm building my confidence up again, But the best part is I'm having fun. And with Living Style with Lisa, that's what it's about. It's about having fun. Just pursuing passions or doing DIYs. Now, how many here do it-yourself projects at home? Can I ask you, sir, what you do at home? Oh my gosh! That's such a good answer. I love that. How about you, sir?
Fix broken things.
Good. And, isn't it nice that you can do it yourself? Yeah. That's what, and Mark, I'm sorry, you had your hand up. What's your do-it-yourself?
Like Sean, fix broken things, but also started to build and receive quality shifts.
Oh, wow.
We didn't know that about Mark.
See, isn't that... Yes, that's so wonderful. We learn something new about a member, right? And the enjoyment you probably get out of that is just so fulfilling. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yes, and that's a big thing too. I hate to say it, after a certain age, the brain power, your mind, right? Sometimes it gets a little foggy. Hey, it's gonna happen. But they say if you keep moving and grooving, it'll keep flowing. And I'm a big fitness buff, so I run a lot and I work out a lot. So for me, I was always like, ice pack. Even when I was younger, when I would run, I always had to put an ice, I came back, and that was a tip I learned from a long time ago from a beautiful military guy. No matter how old you are, when you go out running, come home, ice your knees. And I'm like, I don't want to ice your knees, you know. So I ice my knees, and I'm telling you, knock on wood, so far so good. But sometimes, you know what? You don't have an ice pack in the fridge, because I do this all the time, like especially when I travel. I don't take ice packs with me. Where am I keeping them? You know what I mean? But sometimes you don't have it frozen in the fridge, right? Sometimes you don't have frozen peas in the fridge, nothing. So guess what? When you can do something with a sock, any sock, I'm doing red, it's Red Friday today, so woohoo. But you can use any sock out of your drawer. I brought my husband's socks too, because I'm going to show you something else you can do with socks. And coins. Now I said I'm leaving this here. I love this music. I'm a music buff. That's another passion, music. But this piano, this should be his tip jar, huh? I should leave this here at the end. But how many people?
He asked for a tip jar and we said no.
Oh, really? This is going to be your tip jar at the end, sir. But how many people collect coins or have coins? You know, I have a lot of coins, you know, because you always just throw the coins in there, and then I go and turn them in at that giant, you know, giant eagle one. But anyways, coins, what they're made out of, they're always naturally cold, right? But I kid you not, now I'm going to change my shoes too, so sorry, I'm barefoot. But I kid you not, if you take your coins, you can just slip your sock, and this is the main reason why I use this kind of vase like this. It's a vase. Just slip the sock. We're going to pour all those coins in there. And then you would put this in the freezer, okay? Because it would be really nice and cold if you have access to a freezer, you know. I've done this in hotels. I've done this, you know, everywhere. But it works even if you don't. And what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to put this on. No, I'm not kidding you. And this has been sitting in my, you know, this has been sitting here. It's warm in here. And I hold it. Actually, I did. I was up 4 a.m. today, did my run, you know, did some, my goal today was squats with a brute force bag on my back, you know, squatting down. But my feet were like killing me, so this feels good. And you just hold it. You hold it here. Now, obviously, that's why they say money is the dirtiest thing, right? Because you never know where it's been. But I'm telling you, it works. It works like a champ. I mean, this feels so good. I feel like walking with this sock on, but I won't. But this is like, you know, those are those DIY things that you don't know unless somebody tells you, right? So I'm going to take it off. And there's a couple pennies there that fell out. And then, of course, I'm going to put my stilettos on. Now, I always used to wear stilettos. I used to lug stuff in stilettos. I don't do that anymore, but thank you, sir. Where's the other one? Oh, yeah, it camouflages in there, huh? And,
How long do the coins stay cold enough to get benefit from that?
oh my God, it's immediate. I wish you could put it on, but immediate. You feel immediate.
Yeah, but they warm up on your feet, so it works for what, about 5 minutes? Or?
No, good half hour. I'm telling you, yes.
So that coldness goes up and helps your knees also?
It doesn't go up the whole way to my knees, but it will help the calves. Can you hear me okay still? Because my mic dropped. But it does help the calves. Now, I mean, obviously, if this was in the freezer, I'd put it on me, you know, if I didn't have it. Yeah, but I'm saying if you don't have access to that stuff, and you have access to coins, there's a DIY tip. Yes, yeah, yeah.
Coins instead of ice, like you get the ice machine at the hotel or whatever, so that you're not dripping water all over the place, right?
It's the same, yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, there's those kind of things that you're like, wow, you know, who would think there's another use for that? Yes, sir.
How long do you leave that on your foot, and what does it exactly do?
Well, I leave it on a half an hour. I mean, I hold it. It does that natural healing of like if my feet throb. Do we have any runners in here? Like, does anyone run or walk? Do you ever come home, I'm serious, like your heel will throb and your toes throb? Do you ever have that sensation? No.
I have good circulation.
Oh, you're good. That's great. No, honestly, that is a good thing. But I'll come home and I get that heel pain. And that my toes will just throb and throb. So it just gives a natural healing, that taking that pressure off, that pain, for that. I leave it on a half hour, and I'm telling you, it's a blessing. It really is if I don't have an ice pack. Yes.
Just leave it on for half hour, and that's supposed to
Relieve
any pain.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful. Any other questions on this one, this little tip? Yes, sir. I actually do not, because I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes after a beast mode workout, I leave this on and I sit just like that and I sort of just relax with it. I don't stretch it anymore. I don't put any stress on my heel at that point because it's hurting, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, give it a try if you have any. Do you have foot pain or anything like that, or you knee pain? Oh, okay, yeah. Do you ice your knees? Do you mind me asking? Do you ice them or no? Yeah.
Just chronic, it's not, replaced eventually.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I will say that tip that I learned long ago with the icy knees, because I was always a runner. I always ran. Knock on wood, it's been working for me so far, so I hope it stays. I'm going to put my do-it-yourself ice pack back here. And now the other thing I wanted to show you real quick with the DIY is we're going to take my vase here, and I'm going to grab another sock. These truly are my husband's socks, but they're clean, okay? They are. And just go ahead. This is for if you go home and tell your wives and your partner, ever who decorates at home, say, guess what? I'm going to grab a sock and try this, honey. She'll be so impressed. She'll be like, oh, what are you doing? What are you making me? I'm making you a candle holder. Now, I kid you not. These are in style, like the sweater. I don't know if if you go out there shopping or whatever, and I bet your wives would know, or your partner, or whoever goes shopping for decor. The sweater candles are really in, and I've been doing this for years with socks. This is what I do in the holidays, and I'll get Christmas ones and all that good stuff. And I fold mine up and sort of scrunch it a little bit. And then you just push down that sock so you don't see the foot of the sock. We don't want to see that, the heel. And then I love these LED candles. Do you guys use these at home at all? Because if you have pets, or if you have kids, but my dad called me Grace because I knocked down, I'm so clumsy. So I use these a lot instead of burning natural candles, really. And voila. Now, there's another thing that you can do. And of course, when you're decorating at home, do you guys do that? You stand back, or any project when you're working on your ships, do you stand back and go, oh, that looks good, it's a little crooked, yeah. But you can jazz it up how you want, but it creates a candle. See, I don't like how that's leaning there. So I would play with it, obviously, if I was at home, and nice and quick. Now, you can do that not just with a vase. I just brought a ginger jar to show you. How many people have ginger jars at home? Do you know if you have these? This is an old one. It's not my grandmother's, but I have a lot from my grandmother. She gave me a ton of them. I mean, it's amazing how stretchy socks will go, huh? So, I mean, you can just go to town. Go to town with these socks. And then if you don't want to use it as a candle, put your change in there. You can throw your change in there, right? And then put your lid on. Whatever, just something out of the box. Just something that, would you guys ever think socks could do that? No. So that's really what Living Style with Lisa is. Living your style, your way, yes. But, just creating simple things for everyday use. And if it isn't simple, I sure in the heck will not do it. I will say that over and over. And if you watch my show, I say it a lot. Now, another thing, how many people here have dry skin? I do. And if I can be honest with you, the older I get, it's just getting drier and drier, okay? Now, I am a big gardener, so these are actually what I have left before the frost. These are onions, and there's a little bit of garlic in there, but I love growing my own foods. I just get the biggest joy out of it. Another passion, right? Do we have any gardeners in the house? Yeah? What do you grow, sir? Can I ask?
Yeah, we grow onions, as a matter of fact.
Do you?
Chives.
Oh, he's doing the good stuff. Okay. Did you get to save any of your onions before the frost?
Not this year.
Not just, yeah.
We're done with this,
Yeah.
the gardening for this year. For that, but we still have all different types of chives, things like that, you know.
Oh, yeah, that you probably leave in.
Yeah.
Yeah, all year. I do my my German thyme. I leave in all year. Yeah, and put them in soups and stuff. Oh, I love that stuff. And it thrives in the cold weather. Yeah, doesn't it? Yes.
Yeah, what makes it through the first frost? Do onions make it through, or I know that
Mine don't. I don't know. Maybe some people, but that's why I always pick them. That'd be a good question, because I never leave them because I want them. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose them. Yeah.
They won't come back.
They won't? Okay, yeah.
Never seen them come back.
Yeah. You know what I wish would? Tomatoes, but I know they don't, you know. I still had some really good green tomatoes on my vines, and I left them, and I'm like, I should have picked them and put them on the windowsill. I left them.
Vine and hang it upside down in the basement.
What is that, hon?
Pull up the vine,
Yeah.
hang it upside down in the basement or somewhere, and they will ripen.
Really, even with the frost that we had?
Bring them inside.
I'm going to do that, and I will have to let you know, because I left them. Yeah.
You want to keep those onions longer, you can put them in a sock and hang them up on a line.
Did you hear what he said? In a sock, another
Hang them up on
deal.
a line with a clothespin.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they'll last a heck of a long time.
Oh my gosh, thank you. And that's the theme, the sock. Thank you. You do. And he just said you learn something every day. Never stop learning, right? Never, ever stop learning. But yes, thank you for sharing. That's wonderful. I love gardening. And these onions, and you might know this, but onions have that natural ingredient in it that revives, renews, especially if you have dry skin. And it really, well, it's a wrinkle reliever. I learned that many years ago. But it gives a brightening experience, and it is great for your skin, you know. And who knew? Onions. And a lot of people say, but Lisa, I don't want to put onions on my skin. I'm like, oh, you will. You will. So this next one I'm going to show you, of course, includes onions. I'm going to go over the ingredients. So we got onions, includes oats. So, I mean, you can go to your kitchen, pull out your cabinet, just grab whatever you have. Oats. You'd want oats and onions so far. Honey. I love pure honey. I think it's such a natural remedy. I never am out of honey. I love to support local. This is actually from Pittsburgh Botanical Gardens. I love their honey. But this little DIY includes honey, and then just your basic water. You know, it could be tap water, it could be any water, bottled water. And what you're going to do is, I always put it in these kind of bottles. And of course, you could get these at the craft store or online, your dollar stores, you know. Isn't it nice that we have all the craft stores now? Back in the day when I was DIYing, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this, we didn't have any of that. You had to really think outside the box. You're making everything yourself. But yeah, I do this project right in here. And the reason why is because what you're going to do is, I don't know if everybody can see this marking. See this little black marker where I marked it? I don't know if anybody see it. I'll just walk back there too. There's a little black marker there. See it, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Little black marker on your bottles. Because what I'm going to do is use this as my vessel to make a lotion, okay, for your skin. I mean, you could put it anywhere where you're dry, you know, elbows, hands, but I use this for my face. I mean, I use this for my face every night. But I will say, when you do it with your hands, put put mittens on or grab a sock, and cover it and leave it on, because it will really, I'm really dry on my hands. That's really where I have a problem. And you probably wouldn't notice, I should have did a before and after picture, but it is so bad as I get older, it actually flakes. And I'm like, wow, this is really getting bad, And another thing is it'll help age spots if you're, want rid of those too. But all you're gonna do is chop up your onion, and I'm gonna show you. This little small onion is what I put in here. Can you hear me okay? Okay, because it just went out, okay. This small onion, I just diced it up, so that's what's in here. Chop up your onion, fill it to where that black marker is, okay? Grab those oats, and you probably know what I'm gonna say. Fill it up to where the black marker is, right? Our lovely honey, what are we gonna do? That's right. And then our lovely water, where we stay hydrated. We always should have water, right? We're gonna do what? Black marker, yes. So once you have all your ingredients in there, make sure, because I've done this, I'm not gonna lie, make sure this cap is closed. Just shake it. Shake it like a martini, Shake, just shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, but don't break it. And you wanna make sure, this is actually from my fridge, but when you first do this, when you first make this little remedy, the honey actually will stick. So, you really have to shake it. But once you make it and put it in the fridge, this is how it's gonna look, okay? And it'll last a week, it only lasts a week. But that's all you do. And then, this, you don't even need that much. And I'm gonna put it on my hand. And if anybody wants to try this, you're more than welcome to come up later and try, put it on your skin. And you might be saying, yeah, but geez, with honey, it's gonna be sticky. Yeah, not real sticky, but it will be sticky. I have wet wipes over here. And anyone that knows me, I carry wet wipes anywhere. I'm always with wet wipes. When I run, I even will run into the Moon Police Station. They have sanitizer. It's just me, Lisa here. I'm sanitizing my hands. But I do this all the time, because I will put this on in the winter, and I run with gloves. But of course, when you take those gloves off, it's gonna be, the glove will be sticky. But I have running gear that I don't care gets messed up, but that's all you need. You need just very little. I don't know if you've seen how much I put on. It's just a drop, look. I'm gonna put it up here, so. A drop. Anywhere you have dry skin. And you just, look how that, do you see how it spreads?
Yeah.
It's just, I love it. This is something that I've been using for a long time, and if you would have seen my hands before, I wish I had a pic of it, because that I would put on the slide. Yes, question?
Okay, I always get the split problems here.
Yeah.
They're always, see this?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, that's from being dry, washing.
I would, oh, that's okay, yes, yeah.
No, seriously,
Yeah.
it's easy to do.
And sometimes, you know what, sometimes you don't use a dishwasher because you might have not,
Hands always,
well, I would, if you want to, you can try that.
yeah, I will.
Okay, yeah. When we're done, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I have wet wipes. Because mine was, really bad. My hands were bad. Somebody else had their hand up. Yes, sir, in the back.
Petroleum jelly in a rubber glove, like a latex or a vinyl.
Yeah.
You just leave it on overnight, and you peel it off the next morning, just wipe off the petroleum jelly, your hand is soft.
Oh, really? I never heard of that. Did everyone hear his little DIY tip? Petroleum jelly and put gloves on.
Yeah, or you can pack it, or you can turn the glove inside out, rub up the fingers with the petroleum jelly, then turn it, invert it back, and stick your hand in there.
Yeah.
You could either put a rubber band on or a shoelace, just make it so it won't leak out, and just go to sleep. Your hands
I would never.
squashy during the night, but when you wake up the next morning and take them off, your hands are really soft.
That's what I mean. You can put up with a little bit of irritation, but if it wakes up and it does the job, if it does the solution you want. I just have one quick question for you. Can you use a sock, sir, to do that? He's like, thank you so much for that. Yes.
Yeah, the VA, I go to dermatology a lot, burns off stuff.
Yeah.
Even if you have a cut, you cut yourself, you
Yeah.
have to put your cleanser on, and the next day, they recommend Vaseline, and it doesn't leave a scar.
Really?
Yes, and you cover it, you keep it covered.
Ah.
Dermatology, the VA thoroughly recommends Vaseline. It's like a miracle, healer for wounds and everything.
And it works.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you've done it, so you know it works.
Done it
Yeah.
a couple months. Yep.
Now, I have a question. Does it burn? Like, does it burn when you put it on your,
No,
your,
you don't
no?
do anything on it.
No.
No.
Oh, wow,
Clean
yeah,
out the wound, second day, and
yeah.
then you just put the Vaseline and Band-Aid on.
Oh, my gosh, thank you. Yeah, see, didn't know that. So we're learning lots of new things, right? Yes, that you can use. You sure can.
Are you going to explain what technique we could use to talk our wives into put onions on their skin?
I will. Yeah. Tell your wives to call me, and I absolutely will. When they see the results, they'll be like, oh, honey, put onion on your skin any day of the week. I'm telling you. Honestly, I wish, that's what I keep thinking in my head, if I have a picture of my hand before in my phone, but I don't. Because the hands did not look like this.
How intense is the odor?
Here,
Here, let me,
not at all.
here, let me,
You could sniff my hand. Do you smell anything?
smells like,
No?
it smells like a Jersey Mike sub sandwich.
I love Jersey Mike's. I love it. That's a good one. But no, you could hardly smell.
right,
Yeah, even if you open this up, honestly, you could smell it, but when it gets on your skin, you can't really smell it too much. Yeah, no, I know.
So you do that when you're running, but you don't,
yeah.
overnight do you?
I never did it overnight. Yeah, but I will try that petroleum jelly.
Yeah, that's a great product.
Yeah, oh, it is, yeah. No, I never did this overnight. Yeah, yeah.
Some FYI, onions are a natural antiseptic. If you have a cut, you can use that to put on to get rid of the germs. And then
Oh, yeah.
also the petroleum jelly, the
Yeah.
way it came about is the wildcatters, when they were drilling wells, they got this white grease that would come up to the top of the wells. And
Oh.
they would take that and rub it on their hands, and that was petroleum jelly, essentially.
Really? Oh, my God. Oh, that's wild. Yes. Who knew, huh? I know. But isn't it amazing, though, that foods are like a natural healing element? Yeah.
This will be another theme for your show. Petroleum jelly.
I know. I would have to have some of the members on.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
They're all available.
I will do it. I will do it. I love that you're sharing with me because I love to learn, Learn, you can never stop learning. So thank you for all these tips. I love it. And if you try any of these, let me know because I would love to know. Yes.
Kind of a naturopath, is that the right word, stuff.
Yes, I very much am.
Don't you think that God put everything on this earth we need,
Oh, absolutely.
chemicals to cure things and so forth, and everything we ever need?
Yes, you can grow, yes. Now, don't get me wrong, you love modern, you do need modern medicines for certain things, but yes, I agree, yes.
Improvement right there, and the petroleum,
Yes,
antiseptic, from an onion, that's like
absolutely. But see, that goes back to, well, like when I was growing up, we always had you always had gardens and grew stuff and fend for yourself, that's our food intake, yeah. Yeah, but it's true, it's very true. Yeah, I am a very much, I try to find anything that I can, if it's natural, I rather try that first, I guess you could say, Did you have any other questions about that one? No? Okay. The only other thing that I was just going to say is, when I talk about home decor, which I do on my show a lot, and really on my show, there's always a food segment, because if I'm honest with you, I'm all about food. I mean, I just love my foods. I really do. But home decor to me, and this looks a little raggedy just because I've been carrying it for events and stuff to show people, but I love taking, like I said, like the sock, like any vessel that you wouldn't think of using. So this was actually a picture frame, okay? So it was one of those, the cork picture frames that you put the thumbtacks in. Do you know those? Yeah. But I says, you know what, I need a tray. I need a tray for something. I was having people over and it's fall, and I'm like that. I'm all about themes, okay? If you haven't guessed that with the sock, but I'm all about themes. And I took the picture frame off, got some craft, in my craft room, I always have some crafts. I got cardstock, and I wanted gold. So all I did was cut the cardstock, as you can imagine, to fit the inside of this picture frame. I love nature. Bringing nature into me, that's what I want to see in my home, because it makes me feel good, right? Especially these winter months, we're closing up our gardens. I miss that. I'm outside probably 90% of the time. I mean, we love to camp. I mean, we do a lot of stuff outside, so I like nature in my house. So I just went out there, grabbed leaves, brought them in, and I will say clean them off a little bit with a cloth, damp cloth, and just decorate it. But I used this as a tray. And what I did was I just had a few people over, and I have those glass jar dispensers. And I always have them, really, I stay hydrated all day long, but I always have them filled with water, and I put fruit in my water, too, because I had to really grow to like water. I mean, how many here drink a lot of water and love it? That's excellent, awesome. I do drink it plain, but I like fruit in it. But I just put 2 of my glass, dispensers here because I had people over, and they're like, oh, I love that. They're like, let me guess, you made it. I'm like, I sure did. But that was on my my last episode of the show. And of course, you can always decorate it, put a charcuterie board. How many people here know what that is? Charcuterie, yes. Sir, what is it? I'm putting you on the spot.
Meets Jesus.
That's right, yes it is. But, thinking outside of the box, because you wouldn't know that was a picture frame, right? Or maybe you would. How many here would know that's a picture frame looking at it? Some people do, yes. But that is, well, did you have any questions before I go on about that? But that is what Living Style with Lisa is in a nutshell, and it's about living simply. I mean, I have that around my house because now it's just, and I think maybe from speaking for me, the older that I get, yes, I want to learn. I mean, technology, I'm learning it all because that's the way of the future. But I want to live simply, I want things that are simple, that simplify my life too. And that's really what I go by. I want simple solutions no matter what it is. I will figure out a simple solution to go ahead and make it happen, right? And last but not least, I just wanted to say, does anyone here ever think that they would want to do a show? I'm just curious, like, pitch a show to MCA-TV or ever thought about it? Because they've been around for 35 years. So you guys probably heard of them way before I did. No one's like, no, I'm not pitching no show.
Mark would be a perfect guest. Bring your
I know, that is so true. That would be something really interesting. Yeah, but once you're comfortable with it, yeah, I mean, because, what I love is you didn't know that about Mark till today, and some of your other members, just not knowing about those little DIY tips and, yeah, well, see, that's what I would love to hear I could sit all day and listen to stories, trust me. Yes.
When is your show on TV?
Yes. They don't have an exact time at MCA-TV, they don't list it like the regular TV channels, but if you go online to their website, mcatv.org, they have the programs listed, and it'll give you the air times. Now, my show's usually on 9:30 every day in the morning, and it's on channels, depending where you live. Now, we were just talking earlier, Sewickley, I don't believe they have it yet. Maybe in the future they will, because they do have a new, you live in Moon. It's on at Moon, channel 14, it could be 14, 18, or 21. Yeah, 9:30 in the morning usually, okay? Yes, or you could check it online any day of the week. Yeah. Does any?
You gotta have new ideas all the time. Are you usually in a panic to come up with ideas, or do you have more possibly you?
I love that question. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie to you, some days I'm like, oh, I have a show tomorrow, okay? And because of other stuff going on, life's up and down, I do panic because I'm like, I didn't prepare for it, I didn't do it, But then, I feel if you're passionate about something, it just comes to you. And the ideas will just trickle. Most of these ideas come from when I was little, I'm gonna be honest, and things that I'm gonna be honest, mostly military men that told me some really key ingredients that I carry throughout my life that'll never, ever leave me because, the knowledge is unbelievable. But yes, sir, to answer your question, sometimes I do panic. And John back there, one of your members, he films the show. But yeah, I feel like I just like to have fun, John? It's just really a fun, simple DIY show that we have fun with because that's the other thing. And I said, if I do this show, it has to be lighthearted and fun because I'm at the point in my life where that's what I need. Well, I think everyone needs it, really, Everyone needs that, right? Yes, especially today, so.
Lisa, where'd you grow up?
Johnstown.
Oh, Johnstown.
I grew up in a small town in Johnstown. My dad worked in Bethlehem Steel, and he worked in Bethlehem Steel, and he did real estate on the side, actually, because he was like, I always want an investment. I don't know how the steel. My dad was always an entrepreneur at heart, honestly. God love him. I'm not going to get emotional. He's dealing with dementia now. But the funny part is, my dad, Bethlehem Steel real estate, my mom, sewing factory worker. They worked hard. And they never asked for anything. They were always like, work hard and then you'll just succeed in life. But yeah.
Johnstown's a great community.
Oh, I loved growing up there. Loved it. My parents were trying to get him out here, because he's dealing with dementia. But I will say with dementia, I'm learning so much more about my family history. Isn't this wild? I say to my mom, now that Dad has dementia, he'll talk about his childhood, and he never used to talk about it before. Yeah. I'm like, this is wonderful. But we're trying to get him to move out here, but he's afraid, he's afraid to go outside the home right now. That's what phase we're in. But yeah, I grew up in Johnstown, and I love it. Now it's a little, it's tough, like every little neighborhood like that, once the steel mill closed.
When did you leave Johnstown?
Oh my gosh, I was in and out of Johnstown. I would leave, 15-year-old, I left first to explore the modeling world. Come back, and then we moved so much. But I would leave and I would always come back because that was my home.
Yeah.
I still say it's my home. And people were like, where, Moon? I'm like, no, my home. I don't know if you guys are all like that. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just me. Yeah, no, it's Johnstown. They're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, and I used to, truthfully, I would stay in Johnstown sometimes, drive myself to New York because my daughter couldn't get out of school, or God, I love my husband, he's so supportive. He couldn't come to New York with me or whatever, and I would do a fitting for a model and stuff, because really, I designed undergarments. Really, that's what my main, the accessories, undergarments. And honestly, that'll never leave me. I will always work in some way, shape, or form, undergarments that are solutions for occupations or whatever, but that's what really my heart lies. But yeah, to me, I'd move back to Johnstown in a heart, you know what I mean? But it's close to my parents living here. I do love where I'm living, that's for sure. But yeah, we grew up in Johnstown, a small little town, and my mom, like I said, hard worker, very giving, we lived right on the highway. Just a quick story, if you don't mind me. I can talk. But where we lived, it was on a highway, and we had a big porch. and we get a lot of homeless people on the porch because it was covered. And I mean, my dad, you know, if you would meet my dad when younger day, he would come out, because my mom fed, you know, we always felt bad. But that's the way we were. You don't kick anyone when they're down, you help them. And would feed them, give them blankets, but my dad would go out to work and go, "We love you all, but do not harm anyone in my family." And, you know, never did. So fast forward, my brother's over stationed in Korea, and I'm the only one home, and my other brother's in art school, and I think I was in middle school, I think. It's either my mom, middle school. And we hear knock at the door, and it's just me and my mom, and it's an officer, and of course you get nervous, you know. And my mom's like, "Yes, can I help you?" And I'm standing behind my mom, and he goes, "You're not gonna remember me." My mom goes, "No, sir, I don't, you know, I don't." And he goes, I'm not gonna get emotional. I sat on this porch, just a true story. My mom and I just talked about this. I didn't even know this was gonna come up. I sat on this porch, ma'am. You fed me when no one would feed me, didn't look at me. He goes, and I just wanted to come by and say thank you, and he's an officer, and yeah, oh yeah, and we were so, you know, we were nervous. We were thinking, oh, something happened to the boys or whatever. Yeah, and my mom goes, "Oh my God, I forgot that story." And I says, "No, Ma, I never forgot that. As a little girl, I never forgot that." You know, I says, but that's the way we were brought up. You know, that's just be kind and, you know, help someone no matter what. Never judge, you know, but that's the way we were brought up. I'm not saying, you know, everyone should be like that, but that's how it was in Johnstown for us. That's the way we were. But yeah, she would always, and then it got the word out, "Hey, go on that porch. You'll get fed and you'll get a blanket." And then she would put a little basket out with it, got a little nice, she would put basket out with blankets, cookies, you know, and nothing ever happened. And I'm talking all cultures of life, all skin colors of life. The officer, he is a beautiful black guy that we love. I mean, all varieties of life, you know. We never, you know, it was just if someone needs something, absolutely, you know, especially when they're down and out. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I didn't know that was going to come out, and I didn't have no tears. Does anyone else have any questions for me, or? Would anyone ever want to you know, come on my show for Living Style just to talk about the men's senior club?
Sure, we can do that.
I would love to do that, because like, yeah.
Actually, that'd be a great idea.
Yes, I would love that. Because like I said, starting in the new year,
Sure.
it's going to go back to where I have guests in. And that was really fun. It was, yeah.
You can work that through my assistant.
I will, assistant. The shipbuilder, the boat builder.
I'm not sitting on your lap.
That's for Santa Claus. And also, I'm gonna check my time. If you don't have any more questions, I just want to say too, I, of course, brought a little DIY for you, but it's nothing hard, I promise. I don't know if you can see these ribbons on me, but I brought, you know, you have your choice. There's the traditional American flag, or there's the Stars and Stripe ribbon. We had them already folded for you and pinned, because I got to be honest, at first I did not. I says, maybe we could, but it was hard for me to pin that little pin, and I says, let's pin them all. But you can pick out, there's enough gold stars for everybody. You can pick out a gold star, or you can take it home plain. You can even take extras home. But like, I put this little medallion on mine because it's something very personable to me. I mean, you can use something at home. I did something for a young lady. We did a little locket, and she has something in there from her husband that passed. And but I have those for you over here on the table, and that's what I would like to do at the end, if you're, you know, if you want to. And then I also, of course, like I said, I always have food, guys, so I hope you like candy, because I made mint chocolate bark, you know, but the box says, "A sweet ending to a new beginning." You know, and I always love that saying because, you know, it's always nice to, you might have something rough in your life sometimes, right? Life's like this, whoop, 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 whoop. But there's always going to be an ending, and make it a new beginning. Okay? Thank you so much for your
Lisa,
time.
thank you
I
very much
appreciate
for
it.
coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.